We talked about races to watch with Ross Ramsey just a few moments ago. Now predictions from a couple of partisans in Flashpoint. From the right, Mark Davis from 660 AM The Answer, and from the left, Domingo Garcia, the national president of LULAC.
Thank you, Jason. Good morning and buenos dias. Monday is the first day of early voting. Normally here in Texas, we don't have contested congressional races because the gerrymandering has made it either a solid Republican or a solid Democrat. But here in North Texas, we have a contested congressional race where Pete Sessions, a leader in the Republican majority, is facing a strong challenge from Colin Allred. You see money coming in from all sides, a lot of Washington swamp money coming in. Do you think Pete Sessions can hold on, and is Colin Allred going to be able to beat him?
No. I think Pete's danger, like Ted Cruz, is a closer race than he's used to. But I'm interested about the outside money, because you have Pete running ads against Colin running ads against Pete, and then Democrat groups coming in against Pete, Republican groups coming in against Colin. Is that just too much money? Is it just too messy? I mean, because I believe that campaign spending is free speech. I welcome all of it.
No, I tell you what, I think the Supreme Court, which was bought out by corporate money and continues to be bought by corporate money, saying that corporations can spend whatever they want and that there's people but they can't go to jail is wrong. And that dirty money, that corporate money, is basically corrupting American politics and corrupting American politicians.
I mean, that's a good platitude. But how, first of all, how do you buy out a Supreme Court? I'm intrigued by that. But some of that corporate
you buy
money,
50 senators that can put you on the Supreme Court.
That's even cynical for me. If you have some of that corporate money, some of it goes to candidates that you support as well.
But again, it's wrong on both sides, and most corporate money does favor Republicans. And the fact of the matter is,
there's our problem.
You know, you need to have a level playing field where both sides can fight on the issues, as opposed to one side being able to drown out the other because they got millions of dollars coming in from Washington corporations.
But isn't level artificial? How about a freedom, a liberty playing field where everybody contributes that wants to, and there's full disclosure so everybody knows where the money's coming from?
No, it's the 1% buying Congress, buying special perks for them, buying tax breaks for them, and screwing the middle class.
From the right, Mark Davis, 660 AM The Answer.
From the left, Domingo Garcia.